Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome, happy Saturday. This is my No Paper Left Behind update. I thought it would be my wrap-up video, but I'm not there yet. I still have this stuff, a bunch of this, a bunch of strips. I have now mixed the two paper collections. I was using brand new from this year, the Bow Bunny 6x6 for Beautifully Brisk collection from Tuesday Morning, and the ephemera pack that went with it. I think I might have one leaf left out of the ephemera pack. And then Fall Breeze from Photo Play from last year. I loved this and kept every little scrap of it all together. I focused on using Bow Bunny first because that was the main challenge, and then now I'm mixing and down to the end. This is, right here, this is the Photo Play Fall Breeze. And then this is from the Bow Bunny. And it was a harder paper to use. It was my least favorite. So that's kind of what happens in No Paper Left Behind. I end up with the ones at the end that I'm not a fan of. Which is funny because any other time I would have just quit and put it back in the cupboard. I am having a great time. I made a very kind of lengthy video already this month, so I'm going to skip the details, but I did mention that I was taking it kind of over the top and challenging myself to shop in my stash, not shop at stores, and to use things that I wouldn't normally use. Oh, I still have some of this too. This is from the Photo Play collection. I think I have 20 cards to show you. I have probably half a dozen still in progress. So you'll see those next week, and then I have a few tags, and I need a couple of ideas from you so you can help. So some of these cards you probably saw, I've started them at different places, some at Katie's, some at the beach, and what I'm doing is challenging myself to use, let's move my coffee, it's very important, challenging myself to use different embellishments, and I am having a great time, you guys. Bows, I mentioned that bows are really hard for me, and I figured out what it is. I like a finished bow like this, with the second layer behind it, and those popular bows that are in a bunch of the packs, these, they don't have that back layer. It's just harder for me to like them. I don't know. I think that's what it is. So that's an example of I shouldn't buy those. I think they came in a warehouse box for me, but I shouldn't buy those. I will try and tell you who made me these wonderful things as I go through or sent them to me. I apologize if I get it wrong. I now understand people with big channels who can't remember who sent them stuff, and I thought that was so weird, and now I totally get it because I have too many awesome friends, and when I get Happy Mail, I don't label it by who sent them to me. I'm pretty sure Sabrina K. Country Crafter sent me these. They're a little bit shabby, and look, I used them. I think I used a couple of them, and I added Wink of Stella, and this was an embellishment from the card, and I put some pearls on and a little hello. There's a lot of texture in these cards that won't necessarily, or layers that won't necessarily show really well in the video. And in these cards, not only have I been challenging myself to use more stuff, but also to use different stuff, but also to use more. So I added more pearls than I might normally have. I've got Wink of Stella all over. I better get moving. Here's another one, Celebrate, and a ribbon. These stickers have been in my stash, Wink of Stella. I mostly remembered to ink all the edges, and I've done a better job as I went this month, so I've got scraps of paper on the inside of them. Oh, this one. So, stars. And I think I talked about how I made this tag with bits of washi and layers in my last video. And there's stuff inside it. Give thanks. I used bits of this. I tore off the leaves. There's more detail, I think, on the last one. I talked about that quite a bit. Because, as I said, some of these you've seen. This one was scraps from the last one, inked the edges. I didn't know I was making a flower, but that's where I went. These flowers right here, the textured layered ones, they came in a package in Happy Mail from Ty's Crafty Spot. And it was Prima flowers. I already chopped up the package because I used it for layering. But I just wanted you to see this because this is an example of when I got this pack of flowers, I didn't think fall. But when I looked through it, there were fall colors in there and it was fun. Then I used a weird color enamel dot in the middle. They came with, I think, Echo Park Toy something collection. And so they're kind of unusual. And I used those and as the stem. I would like to show you each pack of embellishments and what I picked out of it as we go, just to show you the variety and how you really have to shop in your stash. But, you know, I'm too messy for that, so I can't find all the packages. But anyway, I would. Okay, here's another one, kind of the same idea. Ribbon as a bow. This one I made at the beach. I wanted to use the origami paper I've been carrying around for decades. This bird is from Tasha, A Date with My Craft Room. And the wood, I love wood embellishments, you guys, too. That came from her. Today, Choose Joy. There's some washi and some tags. I just layered. I just pushed myself to add stuff. I showed this in the last video. This one, I added the gratitude up there since the last video. A lot of stuff going on. Okay, this tag you haven't seen. I made this with Ty's Crafty Spot sent me these Tim Holtz ideology cards. And I apologize, you guys, if I get it wrong, but I'm sure it was Ty that sent me these. And I haven't used any yet. And in my mind, I was thinking they were for art journaling. But why? Why can't they be for something else? So this was a little tag. This is sitting in bed at night, gluing things together, right? Glue more, think less. Can't remember who said that, you guys. We got to remember whose video I got that from. That's great. And I just layered and layered and made a tag. Had a great time. This, there was a, I think, Stampin' Up! Pumpkin Patch kit I got at a garage sale, and it was a punch-out cover journal that said Real Life. So I punched out the letters. They've been in a jar on my counter for at least 6 months. I don't throw anything away. That's a lot of what I want you to get out of this video, is the variety and how you can mix and match. So some people might have thrown these out. I kept them last night and embossed them, and I didn't emboss them perfectly. Like, I was going to redo a second layer, and then I left it messed up, and then I put them on all crooked and just fussy cut some leaves, tore the paper and inked the edges. You don't get torn paper and inked edges very well in my videos because of my lighting, but I promise it's there. Scraps on the inside all the time. Oh, this one I love. I just went crazy. Because I've been saving the bits, I layered up, and I challenged myself to use things. So my tiny attacher that I got at the garage sale, I've been stapling things for these projects. I used more of these narrow stickers. These sequins were in a Happy Mail pack. I don't know if it came from, I don't know who it came from. It might have come from Tasha because there were bunnies in there too. But the overall color wasn't this, so you really have to look through your stash, you guys, and find them. And then I think these came from Creative Gigi, all the way from Saudi, these little adorable clear centers. And I just took another one of those cards that said relax and trimmed it down. These came from, I'm pretty sure the hearts came from Sabrina K. Country Crafter. This is just bits of paper and washi, and I have a die cut circle in back that I chopped down. And those dies, Creative Gigi sent me dies, and she's totally got me hooked on dies. I'm probably going to end up like her and buy millions of them, but I like them. And then I put some scraps on the inside. I've had a great time. Oh, here, I got out the hello. Then I tried to be like Daniela Hayes, but my border was too wide on my glitter paper. I mean, it's cute, but I wanted it to be more understated. And I mixed mirrored paper and glitter paper, which normally I don't do. Is that weird? I don't know. And then scraps, tiny scraps on the inside. These cards I might add more embellishments to. That's why they were in a separate section. I don't know if I'm done. One thing I like about fall cards is a lot of them are gender neutral. I mean, I put a lot of bling on them, but this was a vellum sentiment out of a notepad thing of vellum sentiments I got at a thrift store, and it was sitting on my counter. Well done is better than well said. The pattern behind it shows. I've torn the paper. I should have inked the edges, got in a hurry and glued it down, I guess. And then on the inside, I matted it just to make it lighter and easier to read. Oh my gosh. I am a personal stamp exchange fan, you guys, and this shows you how long I've been doing this gig. This stamp is from 1996. I bet I hauled this somewhere along the way in the last year or so, because I don't believe I bought this originally and it didn't look like it had been used. And I don't have a personal stamp exchange stamp that hasn't been used. So it says, we do not remember days, we remember moments. I don't know how to pronounce the name. And I used gold embossing, inked the edges, I think I got this at that art supply swap, layered it up with cool texture paper, inked the edges. I put some of those tiny, tiny, tiny stars that I just love that are from BB Craft. This was a die cut, and I shortened it up and did Wink a Stella on it because I wasn't sure how I was going to use it, and I really forced myself to use things that I might have just ditched. And there we go. And when the challenge isn't really about the die cuts and the paper, so if your collection has stuff and you don't want to use it, you don't have to. But it's really about the paper. And I'm going to show you a couple cards and maybe not talk about them for a minute. You can just look while I tell you. Chica Chats from Instagram. Chica Chats with a Z. I'll probably put it on the screen. She wants to join us for October, so I told her to start choosing her paper. Christian's Crafty Adventures here on YouTube wants to join too, so she'll be choosing. I think any of you who have a paper stash sitting around and want to join, you should definitely get to it. It is a lot of fun. This card is a great example. This is self-adhesive, super weird color paper with a pattern on it. I love that die. I punched it out months ago and I just threw it in a bin. I finally said, okay. And when I went through my craft room and was looking for everything that would remotely be earth tones and go with fall cards, I pulled it out. I actually used it. This is, you know, from the brand new collections. Those were sitting on the counter open. Ribbon, I'm not sure where the ribbon came from. Thank you if you send it to me. And then papers from the collection inked. And it just says, oh, happy day. A lot of these are super general sentiments you could use for anything. This one I had a great time on. I don't know why. Sometimes you make a card, maybe not artistically or embellishment wise, it's awesome, but you just love it. I am a big Winnie the Pooh fan. Like anybody who knows me, long time. So I have Winnie the Pooh stamps. This is a stamp in my collection that says, promise me you won't forget me ever, not even when I'm 100. And that's a Pooh quote. And it's kind of in a childlike font. You know, kind of like Pooh. And then I took a vellum sticker. These were in my stash, and I've shared them with a couple people, so you might have some in your happy mail. And put it on this wood, and it kind of shows the vellum edges show, and I'm fine with that. So it says, friend, promise you won't forget me ever, not even when I'm 100. I played with glossy accents once because I never do it. I didn't take it much further. Wink a Stella all over it, and some die cuts that came in the collection that you can't probably see. Kind of like that one. I love it. And I never use that stamp. Okay, this one, I don't know what embellishments to put on it. I feel like it needs a little something more. It has this eyelash trim that, who sent this to me, you guys? We know. Cat and Paws sent me, Gretchen. And it has die cuts from the collection, and Wink a Stella says, I love you a bushel and a peck. I don't know. I just feel like it could use a little something, but maybe it just has too much already. And this one, these were brads that I cut the back off of because somebody said I should do that, and it's brilliant. I don't use brads nearly as much as I just use random embellishments. This was, I think, the edge off of a store-bought card that someone gave me or passed to me. And I used it, and some ribbon. I like that one. There's no sentiment at all. It's kind of weird for me. And this one I showed you last time with all the crazy layers of gold going on. Then I made these 3 tags. This one's double-sided. And these are not. Well, I mean, they are, but I'm not going to decorate the back. Did you guys like the tag book giveaway from last month? Should I make more tags and decorate them? And I was thinking I'd leave the back smooth so you could put them on cards or journals or whatever. The ones I made last month were probably too thick because I used like packaging in the middle of all of them. So this month I thought I'd leave them a little thinner. Let me know if you like the tag giveaway idea. And if you like it, then that's probably what my giveaway from this collection is going to be. if I don't hear anything, maybe I'll do something else. I'll give you a quick peek at what I have to work on. This is one of my scrap cards. I've showed videos on these. I haven't mounted it on a base yet, but those are just strips and things from the collection. There's another one down here started somewhere. I don't know, lost it already. These are ones that I took the strips pretty much as they existed and glued them down just to make them. I typically like a shape more like this, where it's 2/3 and 1/3. I don't usually like to take the front of my card and divide it right in half, but I had a whole bunch of 2-inch strips. So 2 and 2 is 4, the front of the card's 4 1/4, you get the math. So that's why. Typically I would do something more like this, but I didn't want to just be cutting them into more strips. You know, you reach a point where you're like, okay, I kind of want to be done. I have these little wooden love embellishments. You guys have sent me so many cute wood embellishments because you know I like wood. I think these came from Kelly or Tanisha. They came from somebody who's trying to make me keep good stash in my blue. I think they came from a blue lover. They were in there and I saw them and I thought, ooh, that's great. But this is an example. We send, ooh, look at those. We send each other mixed embellishments. So take the time, look through. It was also a great example of I enjoyed using little tiny bits of stuff that people had sent me. I had a great time. So if you want to brighten someone's day, but you feel like it's too hard, like you do not have to package your bows like this and make it all beautiful. You could just take a few random sequins from your collection or a couple of die cuts, put them in an envelope, and that would totally brighten someone's day. It would make them super happy. This isn't about who has the fanciest toys or who buys the most stuff. It is about building a crafty community and challenging yourself to try something new and have fun. I hope that you're going to be crafting and relaxing today. My friend Katie is coming over in about 15 minutes and there's no room for her in my craft room, so I gotta go. Have an absolutely great day. Bye-bye.